Hello everybody, my name is Tim Hughes. I'm the Director of Communications at the Spirit Invest Group. Today I want to speak about global uncertainty and the prospects for an improvement in the global and local environment towards the end of 2025 and into 2026. Unfortunately, we've had to get used to global uncertainty for a number of reasons. Firstly, inflation. It's been sticky, it's been difficult to bring it down. Reserve banks have had great difficulty in controlling inflation, and this is the case whether it's the United States, Britain, or here in South Africa. Secondly, and relatedly as well, is the imposition of tariffs across the globe by the United States, which has both disrupted trade linkages, relations between the United States and its major trading partners, and indeed its competitors. But it also has the potential for boosting inflation and making not just trade more difficult, but actually slowing economies as well. And that's a concern the IMF has just expressed in its recent meeting. We've also had and had to live with this year geopolitical, geostrategic uncertainty. Of course, the war between Ukraine and Russia, the war in Gaza between Israel and Hamas, and there have been other conflicts globally as well, including, of course, the bombing of the Iranian nuclear facilities, which have led to even greater levels of uncertainty. Here in South Africa, we've had to live with a government of national unity, which, while it's better than a doomsday scenario, hasn't really produced the goods in terms of making a difference on key indices. We've had difficulty passing a budget. We haven't yet gone to a medium-term budget policy statement. We have commissions of inquiry looking into corruption. We have corruption in the police services as well. These things lead us to feel uncertain about our environment. So is there likely to be an improvement in the balance of 2025, the remaining 2.5, 3 months? In my view, no. There's nothing that indicates that we will see a significant improvement in uncertainty in 2025. But what I do think is we'll begin to see an improvement, or if you like, a reduction in uncertainty beginning in 2026 for a number of reasons. Firstly, there has been a ceasefire in the Middle East, and that's quite encouraging. We know that there are discussions between Russia and the United States, and Ukraine and the United States. There's a possibility of a ceasefire in that conflict too. At the moment, the United States federal government is shut down, but we know that will be a temporary measure, and the economy will sort of get back onto its feet as well. I also think we're beginning to learn about how President Trump operates, how he uses tariffs as a bargaining chip, as a negotiating chip, if you like, to do a deal. And the global economy will settle and get to understand. And in fact, many economies have done deals with the United States. It now remains to be seen whether or not a deal can be struck between China and the United States. And I think it has to be. Likewise, there has to be a deal between the United States and India. Here in South Africa, we are moving into a period of 2026, which, whilst uncertain, all the economic indicators suggesting that we could have a somewhat improved economy in 2026. Not radically, but it could be better than 2025. And indeed, we're seeing signs of government moving towards investment in infrastructure, harbour investment, railway investment. Our electricity supply has stabilized very, very well indeed. We haven't had major strikes in South Africa. So there is the potential for all this pent-up capital to be unleashed and invested in South Africa, both domestically and internationally. These are my forecasts, if you like, for the balance of 2025 into 2026. But I shall update in the next video to see how accurate these forecasts are, and we'll adjust the forecasts accordingly. Thanks for watching.